We've been jealous as a community looking at the Islamic community, at the togetherness, the brotherhood, the staunch identity, and it's filled a void of what the weakness in what the West has become. When our families have come under attack, which is all orchestrated and organised, weaken the family, attack the men, feminise the men. We're witnessing all this. It's happening to the Western Christian nations. And as that's happening to us, you have Islam, which says, we're not weakening. We're not flying rainbow flags. You have to hold your hands up. I remember when I watched the World Cup in Qatar, I was like, it's their country, governed by their laws, And I was actually thinking, I was about time someone told them to take those rainbow flags down. Stop pushing that shit. But at the same time, there's lots of flaws with it. But I think it's filled a void.
So you respect it to a certain extent, but it's also terrorising your country.
It's terrorising our country, it's changing our country, it's dominating our country. And I respect it in a certain sense, and I can give so many examples, Brian, of, say for example, we set up the English Defence League, I'll get on to, I'll rewind and explain why, because there's lots of justification why. But I set up the English Defence League. We're a street protest movement. We come out of Luton, spread across the whole country.
When did it start, roughly?
It started 2009.
2009.
Now, so my first, just so you understand my upbringing, I went to school. I was from a working class background. I done well at school. I didn't try. I got 11 grades, I got 11 A to C's, I got an A in maths. I didn't look at one book, I could sit in class and mess around the whole class and breeze it, okay? I was quite natural, it was easy for me. I didn't study a bit, I passed all the GCSEs. When I left school, I applied to be an aeronautical engineer.
What the London Real Investment Club actually does for you, it gives you the keys to open that door to the inside deals. In the last 3 weeks, I've participated in 3 incredible deals: a layer 2 Bitcoin protocol, an incredible AI protocol. The deal flow is beyond what I expected. I don't think I've ever seen a model like this that just gives average folks the opportunity to be behind the deals, and that's exactly what we've done. Not only that, you get to hang out with Brian Rose every week, and for me, that was huge because I look at Brian as somebody who's not only an expert in the space, and I think is on the leading edge, but just the leading edge of thought with London Real and the work he's doing there. To anyone who's taking a serious look at this, I know it's a big decision. It was a big decision for me and my family, and it is one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I wish you all the best and hope you come join us.
At Luton, right?
At Luton. And I qualified, I went to work and I qualified, and I knew very quickly I shouldn't be there, if I'm honest. When I started talking to the other people that worked there, who I didn't have much in common with, I asked them where they lived, and they all lived in villages, and they're all from wealthy areas, all the people who worked as aircraft engineers. And I just felt out of place. And I think I felt out of place because of my background and where I'd come from. And I'd go out and I'd come in with a black eye after a night out, and everyone would look at me like an alien. I think, what's going on? Like, and the way you brought up in Luton, what you think's normal in Luton, I only realise isn't normal as I grew up.
Like what?
Like fighting and violence and way to deal with things. Our school would fight the other schools every Friday. Lads would be going out 30-handed looking for other lads. And that was just part of growing up. And if someone says something to you negative, you'd beat them up. But that's not normal. But it took me a long time to realise that's not normal. It took me till I started looking at other towns. And when I experienced going to other communities or other areas near Luton, I went to Hitchin. I thought, wow, this place is lovely. There's no attitude. When you walk through Luton, people are looking at you. There's aggression. And that's not. I'm not talking about the Muslim community here. I'm just talking. There's an aggression. Right. So I grew up in that town of Luton, but I always my mum was Irish. She was one of 8 children. They come from a real poor background, but I had a loving family, a really loving family. I had a great upbringing. And I guess I was always in the group of lads that were causing lots of trouble, but I never got involved in the criminality. And I managed to keep myself I done my career, I done my job, I qualified as an aircraft engineer. I went on after that, I set up two businesses between me and my ex-wife. We purchased 7 properties. We were doing well. But 2004, when I was doing my apprenticeship, the Beslan school massacre happened. I don't know if you remember it.
Oh yeah, in Chechnya.
In Chechnya.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
brutal.
Everyone has the light bulb moment.
Yeah.
Something changes your mind and wakes you up. And do you know what? Sometimes would it have been better not to wake up? All these people who have opened their eyes, when maybe it was during COVID, vaccines. Once your eyes are open, you can't close them. It changes you. It takes over your life. I guess you've experienced it, yeah?
A little bit.
And then it takes over everything. So the English Defence League took over my life.
What did you see from that Beslan massacre?
So I saw the Beslan massacre, and I saw...
This is when a bunch of terrorists took over a school.
Terrorists took over a school.
And the Russians went in and they blew it up or something.
Yeah, they took over the school, but the parents come outside the school. So imagine this. Your children are inside the school. Lots of terrorists have got the children. The parents are outside school gates. The military are not letting them go in because they've got the situation they're trying to deal with. And then you hear them start butchering the kids and killing the kids. And I can see the parents now, I can see it now, dropping on their knees. And I remember watching it just going, what the fuck is this? Like, this isn't one madman. This is an entire group. That's what woke me up to it. It wasn't one absolute lunatic going on a killing spree. This was a whole group of men that have come together. They've prepared this and they've decided to go attack children and butcher them. And so for me, it was looking at it going, well, what's behind this? Yeah. And then 2 weeks after, so this was my wake-up call. I was doing my apprenticeship. And a couple of weeks after this, there's an interview in a chicken shop in Luton. Yeah? And in this chicken shop in Luton, there's Pakistani Muslims being interviewed. And one of their names is Saif al-Islam, Sword of Islam. That's what it translates as. And at the time, he was number 2 in an organisation called Al-Mujahideen. Omar Bakri, Abu Hamza with a hook, all the country's worst terrorists, this was the group. Now at the time, this group weren't prescribed as a terrorist organisation. There was no one prescribed as a terrorist organisation because we hadn't had a terrorist attack in the UK. Right. In fact, what the UK acted as, so people understand the history of it, we acted as a safe haven for terrorist groups. We gave safe haven because we wanted a Mujahideen Islamic jihadists to be fighting against Russia in Afghanistan. So we let them base themselves. The Muslim Brotherhood, Hizb ut-Tahrir, all the groups that are prescribed and banned by the UAE and Islamic countries are allowed to grow and were supported and given a place in Britain. Yeah. So as these groups are growing, when none of us even know what they are or who they are, we don't know what Islam is or jihad is.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.